Welcome to the Power of Healing Your Energy show. The show is all about your light, your intuition, and did you know depression and anxiety are a side effect of not living your life intuitively, not trusting your gut, and the lost connections with your higher. So let's go higher and feel deeper. Hello, episode 35, The Power of Andrea Warren. How do we quiet our minds in these uncertain times? And welcome. Oh, here we are. Hello, empaths. My name's Christine. I'm with medium, intuitive energy coach, and old soul healer. Welcome to episode 35. Yes, it's all about essential oil made simple. I have a beautiful guest, Andrea, today, and health wellness can be massively improved by using essential oils the right way. They're coupled with powerful holistic tools, strategies, stress and anxiety, which is huge, to help you live your best possible life. Andrea, getting the facts, gaining the experience, and practicing the secrets of 15 years. So she's an alternative health educator, aromatherapist, best-selling author, Formulator, and she's going to make transforming your life with essential and powerful. Hello, that I have your mic on.
Okay, hello. Hello, hey, you know.
Welcome to the show.
I'm excited
and
to
I'm
be
in
here,
Edmonton.
and this is what perfect timing.
Yes, beautiful. And where are you now?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Nice. Wonderful for, agreeing. I believe we know if it was a month or two ago that we set this up. And I going on right now, the pulse, actively take the pulse of the planet, of the world. I would guess to say that your, essential oil is probably in high demand. Would you?
Yes.
Fair assumption?
Yes, it definitely is in high demand. High demand right now, for sure.
Okay, and why do you think that is?
I think that people are trying to find alternative solutions to sort of quiet the mind. I mean, it's a little obviously what our talk is about today, and finding ways to sort of bring in a new energy outside of all the noise and chaos that is they're being bombarded with now. So essential oils allow us the opportunity to sort of expand the mind, tap into the subconscious, maybe hit that limbic part of the brain to bring up more uplifting, freeing, relaxing energies than we normally, like what we're getting shot at us right now.
Definitely. And do you have certain essential oils that is a go-to, I guess, for if you're feeling anxious, or what's your go-to?
Sure. So there's a ton of research done and a lot of science. I live in that logical part of my brain as well when I talk about this, because I like to provide the science that backs it up. But bergamot is an oil that has been used. It's used in hospitals. It's used in rehab centers, that they've used it when we're bringing in clients or checking in clients. It eases the mind. Anxiety is like, that's the perfect oil to use. I would diffuse it. It's a perfect oil to diffuse. It's not heavy. It's not super sweet. I know a lot of people's scent can trigger certain emotions. So this to me is a little bit of a gentler oil to start with, especially when you're working with anxiety. So I would say my go-to first would be bergamot essential oil for sure.
Bergamot. I don't have that one, but I am familiar with it. For me, it's lavender, lemon. I guess it really depends on your mood as well. Do you find that?
Yeah, exactly. And I think for peppermint and lavender and those types of oils, it's also what you're looking to achieve, right? Because peppermint is great if you want something for clarity. You know, maybe you're working through
Mm.
something or working on a project, or you have your kids home and they're for the first time schooling at home. Peppermint would be a great oil to
Mm.
use to kind of open the mind and allow for clarity to come in during those times. So that too, and then lavender is a great oil, like, you know, when you're talking about the energy or the pulse of where we are now, talking about, you know, that balance, that even getting us back to center, or cedarwood's another really wonderful grounding oil.
Definitely. Um, and, and I guess, I guess I'm throwing questions, but I do use essential
I
oils
love
for
that.
disinfect. I use it for disinfect. What would you recommend? I mean, there's a couple that I use, but I'm curious.
Sure. I like rosemary a lot, just because I also love, I think a lot, and lemon. I think we associate, excuse me, certain scents with cleanliness. Of course, now I get a frog in my throat.
Yes,
Let me have some lemon water.
it's all good.
Um, excuse me. But we associate smells with clean, and I cannot believe this. Oh boy, excuse me. But scents with clean, like rosemary or lemon. So that would be something I would use. Excuse me.
Okay, no, let's all take a water break, everybody. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, geez. I guess for me, I like to use tea tree oil and eucalyptus, but yeah, those are great ones too. It really just depends on what you like to use. And I mix a little bit of vinegar in as well, just to kind of cut it a little bit. And we've actually made our own hand sanitizers as well. It's like I have a little kit going. Um, do you work, I guess, with kits? As would you recommend something like that? Something in the car,
Sure.
or something at
I would have oils. I have sprays all the time. I think tea tree is a great
home?
oil to use. You can mix tea tree with peppermint. Those are antibacterial, antimicrobial. They're helpful for that as well. Um, I would keep a spray bottle with something like you said. You could use something. I know a lot of people were out of rubbing alcohol here. So
Mm-hmm.
you can use things like grain alcohol, or people jokingly said, could I substitute vodka? Yes, you could use it with distilled
Mm-hmm.
water. And you can add your tea trees, your peppermints, even your lavenders. Those are other great oils if you're going to create something to keep in your car, at your desk. Um, I've even talked about what people aren't thinking about, like you're ordering items to your home. And you don't think about the fact that those boxes, how many hands do those touch before they get to you? So being mindful of some things that you're going to be doing when you open the box, use something like gloves and oils to clean surfaces, open boxes, clean the items even in the box before you use them or take them out. I know Amazon, everybody's using Amazon, but I can assure you that box has touched many, many people before it gets to your house.
That's true. That is, yeah, definitely challenging times, driven by fear. So, I guess the whole premise of the show was, it seems so timely, but essential oils, anyways. But how do we quiet our
Sure.
minds during these uncertain times?
Okay, so if you're going to use an essential oil, I like to, when I use an essential oil, like if you're wanting to quiet the mind, a really great way to do it with you can do a practice within a few seconds of starting to use the oil. And I'm going to demonstrate because I think it's better to show somebody as I do it. So you'll take the palm of your hand, you'll put a few drops of the essential oil in the palm of your hand. Then I recommend you rub your hands together. And I'm sure that you've taught lots of breathing techniques. So, whatever your favorite breathing technique is, um, I like to when I do this, I like to think of things because we can't multitask the brain. So if we try to focus on where we are at the present moment, if we want to talk about or think about things that are in the room around us, either colors or scents or whatever you see in the room. And as you do that, I recommend you take a really big deep breath in. And as you're taking that deep breath in, you think about, like I said, you'd look around the room. If there's something that I see the color gray. And again, try to stay present in the moment that you're in. As you take the deep breath in again, maybe you think about something that you're wearing. What color is the shirt that I'm wearing? And again, take another deep breath in. And again, as I said, our mind has such a difficult time multitasking. And right now, because we're being bombarded with all of this, if we try to stay present in that moment using the oils, that would help us. Within seconds, you can sort of feel your heart rate go down, your breathing will start to slow down, and it'll allow you to sort of, center. And you could do the same thing throughout the day. You can use those particular oils that you find soothing, like cedar woods, lavenders, sandalwoods, chamomile. Put those in your diffuser and diffuse them throughout your house. That would be another great way to use it. But my personal favorite is the breathing technique and using that as that inhalation that close than using a diffuser. I think the reaction of the body is much quicker than just placing a diffuser 50 feet away and doing it that way.
True, instantaneous, bringing you back to center.
Right.
Like, let's focus on being present. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Exactly.
And scent usually invokes, memories, like you said, or color, something that you love, maybe a flower, maybe even your grandmother. It might invoke love.
Exactly.
Those happy memories, right? What we're trying to create is, and yourself should be a place of zen. That's why they talk about feng
Exactly.
shui so much as well. But yeah, that's
Right.
great. Myself, I like to put it in my Epsom salt bath, essential
That's a great
oils,
way.
or even room sprays. You see a lot of folks. I carry that with me when I go in a shopping mall. I mean, we just talked about that. I don't normally, or into a big crowd, or if I'm going to be around a lot of people, I spray myself afterwards. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, there's great
Yeah.
oils. You could do that before.
Mm-hmm.
There's great oils to use for protection. Like I said, like cedarwood, Palo Santo is another one. There's oils that are used, like if you're somebody like yourself and myself, when you're an empath and you're kind of walking into all this energy. We talked a little bit about that before. There's oils that you can use beforehand that have been used in that way to keep sort of that energy, kind of stave it off. And then there's others once we get home, or like you said, when we walk away, to kind of relieve ourselves of what may have kind of allowed itself to attach to ourselves, and kind of just sort of start over, hit the reset button, and continue out throughout our day. So there's all different ways that we can incorporate those oils. I like to as well, and I'm sure using pressure points or sort of acupuncture or a VitaFlex technique on the feet, where you're hitting those points on the feet and using oils to incorporate those. That's just another, because absorption of oils is so much faster when we do it through the feet. That's another great way if you're looking for that quicker response than you would probably get from that diffuser aspect of using oil. So the bottom of the feet is another great way to do that.
Yeah, no, that's a wonderful tip. Definitely. A few folks watching here, don't be shy. Where's everybody from? Say hello. Let us know if this is your first time joining us. As well, if you have any comments after the show, if it's on the replay, mention replay, and we won't leave you hanging, we promise. Because I know people have questions. So now more than ever, it's, time to incorporate essential oils into your life,
Yes.
or about it. Um, I mean, the pound is, it's been everything for so long, and now it's time to take it back and find ways to celebrate and finding your inner GPS that we talked.
Right.
Now
Right.
I know there's got to be people that are not in school right now.
Yes.
Know if you guys are experiencing that. I mean, having everybody under one roof. What does that feel? What does that look like? I'm an empty nester, so for me, I don't have that.
Yeah, I can
So
imagine that's
I don't
stressful.
know.
Yeah.
You hearing from your friends, your family,
I'm hearing a little
or
bit of
you?
everything. I have older kids. I have a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, so it's a little bit
Okay.
different for me, but I have friends that have younger kids. It's like, oh my gosh, they've been gone, and that whole elementary school age. And now what do we do? And again,
Mm.
I think this is a great time. To me, my kids have always been involved with oils. When I started as a formulator, I created product lines. So my son has been helping with essential oils since he was 3. So I think it's a fun way too to incorporate lessons, right? You can teach about botanicals and essence and sort of let your kids smell the oils. I think this could be a total family type schooling idea to allow them to learn about how these oils work, why they do what they do, or or you could even ask your child, okay, when you smell this orange scent, what does it make you think of? And maybe he comes to a memory of when
Mm.
he was a child, or even younger. I guess he already is, but I mean, maybe, oh, when I was at grandma's, she made fresh orange juice. And maybe you can talk a little bit more about the memory, keeping our kids' minds active. Unlike you mentioned, this positive, because I'm sure it's very, they're concerned, they're confused, why am I not going back to school? So I think that would be a way to incorporate oils. And something that I say often when you were talking about sort of our energy, I want you also to be really aware of the oils that you're being drawn to, because I really believe that oils choose us as much as we choose them.
Mm.
So when
I
you're
love
being
that.
drawn to an oil, yeah, I really would investigate why. There's tons of resources online that you can look at why that oil, like, oh, when I smell that, I feel this. I really believe in this time too to really be aware of that, because there may be something that you need filling up that oil can help support that.
Definitely. This is asking, I guess she was out of the room, which oils are good for empaths? Again, I'll put it in the chat box just so everybody knows.
Sure.
I
For
think you
me,
mentioned Palo
as an
Santo.
Yeah, Palo Santo's a great one for empaths. And
Mm-hmm.
I also I think cedarwood is a great one. But
Cedarwood.
again,
Okay.
I really believe um, as empaths too, we are drawn to certain scents. Certain scents fill us. There's always like the textbook
Mm.
answer, which I'm always happy to give. There's sandalwood, chamomile, lavender. But for someone like yourself, Liz, if you use certain oils and you feel them, like you can feel the energy, the vibration, the frequency of the oil, how it connects to your inner self or your gut. That really, to me, that becomes your oil. For me, I create blends, so I'll even have conversations with people. Well, smell this, and smell this, and what does it feel? And feel into it, because maybe today,
Mm.
you know, Palo Santo is your oil, but 3 days from now, it could be patchouli, or it could be juniper, or jasmine, or rose. It just really is meeting you where you're at. But I would say, there are those grounding oils that are, like I said, that textbook answer.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but I tend to live out of the textbook. I probably should live more in the textbook, but I'm all about just sort
Heck
of,
no,
you
no,
know.
no, no.
No textbooks,
You're
just
not meant
feel into it.
the
Like,
only person I saw something or today. The only person that fits, or the only one that's supposed to fit, not. I
I
love
get it.
it.
That's perfect. I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's
Just
yeah,
be you, just do you.
yeah, I love that.
You're saying formulative. Oh, Liz is like, it's very, I'm just trying to get to the comment here, but she's saying very informative. Never thought of oils as grounding. I have lots. Oh, that was
Well,
good.
and another great grounding technique, Liz, is when we talked about putting oils on the feet. I like putting oils on the feet when I'm really needing some grounding, and then I go outside without my socks on and I put my feet to the grass. So I'm talking like the
Mm.
double whammy of grounding. So, your feet are to earth, and now the oils are doing what they need to do. So if you're feeling like super overwhelmed, that would be a great way to just sort of get connected to source, like energy, earth, and use those oils that I recommended.
Yeah, wow. No, I wish. Unfortunately, we don't still have snow. But hey,
Oh, that's true.
if you're able to,
Well, it's
go
okay.
for it.
Yeah. Snow's good. It may be a little cold, but
It will be refreshing.
Exactly.
That'll snap you ever you're in. No, sorry. Oh man. Oh, and she's just saying thank you. You're
Oh,
welcome,
you're so
Liz. Yeah,
welcome.
and that's why I have this show, because you know what? I am everything, and that's why I brought you on. You're an
I
expert in
appreciate
essential.
that.
What got you into essential oils?
Um, Oddly enough, I just started falling in love with them after my son was born. I just learned about product development. I saw all the toxic stuff that was out there, and I said, "Geez, there's got to be a better way." I love creating stuff, so I said, "Let me learn." So I went back to school and got a degree in naturopathy, and then I went further and went to do aromatherapy and just sort of then became a practitioner in aromatherapy, and then somehow just kept evolving. And I started formulating and creating blends for companies who were really interested. This is back when nobody knew what essential oils were. And they were like, what do you mean it's non-toxic? How do you have that scent? And I'm like, this is what we use. And so that was sort of why I got started, was definitely because of my son, and knowing that the products that I was seeing out there were definitely not ones that I wanted to be using on him. So it came out of a need, I think, for myself, and then evolved into a business. So
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and you can quite passionate about it, and like the demand now is growing because people are out it, and now they're like, oh gosh, I think this is something I need to do. Now it seems to be a lot of essential oils out there. What do you recommend? Because some people say this grade is not good. This is not natural. Do you understand? There's perfume in
sure.
this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
I use, so there are certain blends, there's certain companies. I've always subscribed, like I used to use a gentleman out of Oregon when I was a formulator, because I would buy in bulk. I don't buy in
Mm-hmm.
bulk as much as I used to. I do use Young Living products. I have a professional account with them, so it's a little bit different than the other side of Young Living. I use their direct sales account. But there are other companies. I always tell people to do their research, because the one thing, especially here in the States, because I know you have people from all over the world, our FDA is a little bit more lenient when it comes to essential oils, unfortunately. And something can be called an essential oil here if it only has one drop of that pure oil.
Oh
So I
wow.
say, so you really need to be aware, read labels. I would say that would be my first suggestion. Read labels, make sure that there's third party testing. Also, I'm a big believer in supporting companies that use sustainability. Try to use their own farms instead of farming out. I've Back in the day when we were getting products from Europe, we really, and Europeans are so much more further ahead of us
Mm,
when it came to oil. So I learned so much about that aspect of how are they distilling it? What farm? How's the farm? I mean, you could have an essential oil grown on a farm and then sprayed with pesticides. So,
that's
those
true.
are things to think of, is just do a little bit of research. There's enough of it out there. And if a company doesn't provide that information, then walk away, because there's definitely companies that do.
Yeah, definitely important. And there seems to be a lot of greenwashing as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Yeah.
organic, but then you look at the bottle and no, it's made by this company
Yeah.
and it's got this in it. What? No.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's why I
Mhm.
tell people, I'm like, you know, ask questions. And if a company isn't open to sharing, then that means you don't do business with them because you
That's
want to use something that is what it says it is.
yes, definitely. And that's not the company for you. So
Exactly.
so just during these times I kind of pulled a question out of the list of questions that you had, and I'm just wondering if everyone's ready for a new and effective cure for stress and anxiety. So I mean, you did the scent hand breath test. I mean,
Sure.
that's one quick way to get you there. Do you have any other tools?
So I'll share a few if you don't mind. I know
Sure, go
we're
for it.
almost at the end. So I will. Okay. So we talked about the breath technique.
Yes.
The other way to do it is, and I have my headphones on, but you can take oils and put them on here on your lobe.
Okay.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I would massage them in. One, if you can get someone to do that for you, it's even better because it's
Mm-hmm.
super that whole idea of massage. And then there's also that connection of energy too. So, but to put them on the earlobe, close the eyes. I like to listen to music when I do that, or ASMR, whatever your meditation is at that point. You can do that. I also like to do mudras and essential oils. So if you're doing hand meditation, each one with an oil, putting the oils on the fingertips as you go through your meditation is another great way. Um, in the evening time before I go to bed, again, that massaging the feet with certain oils, cedarwood and lavender are two excellent oils to use in the evening because we need our bodies to rest. And
Yes.
even though we think we're sleeping right now, for many of us, we're not. We're asleep, but not where we need to be, where our body is resting and our immune system is doing what it needs to as we sleep. So this would be another great way to just quiet the mind, get the body also at the same time, as I mentioned before, that's a wonderful way for the oils to get throughout the body at a much quicker pace than just inhalation. Um, and diffusing is a great practice to do throughout the day. Using
Definitely.
oils, yeah, using oils like chamomile and sandalwood. And as you say, I stay a lot away from floral scents. I'm a little biased, but you can use oil. I'm not a huge fan of sweet, but I do love citrus. And it's not all about calming; it's also about uplifting. So oils like tangerine and mandarin are great to use to just sort of bring our spirits and our energies up. And they're great to use during the day to diffuse, to keep sort of the balance, right? Because, right, like you said, all these new people are under the same roof and trying to cohabitate at a really different way than they have before. So, that would be another way to do it is to bring in these citrus uplifting oils that still provide a calm, and not just as more of a relaxant as the other ones that I mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. A mood booster, mood. Like I'm sure at this time
Exactly.
there's a lot of emotions and feelings going on. So,
Yeah.
bring all the essential oils out and like you said, make it like a project. Smell one and go, okay, this is what this one makes me feel. Put it aside and then use another one. And it'd be interesting what you can build from that. And I mean, really, this is a time where we need to listen to our intuition more than ever.
Exactly. And that's exactly
So,
it. Open them up and just sit with it for a second. Don't rush the process. Sit with it for a second. Just smell it like this, because I always say if you put it on your hands, you're pretty much just going to keep layering. So just smell it under the nose. Allow it to hit that limbic part of your brain. Allow that brain to tap into all of where that's going to hit throughout from your fingertips to your toes, and enjoy the experience that you get. Maybe break out a notepad and say, wow, when I smell, that's another thing when we're talking about, when you mentioned that about tapping into memory, wow, when I smell this comes up. you never know. You might tap into some things that while you have all this time at home that you may want to do a little work on, you know? So, you know,
Mm.
there's just so many layers to this that you can do as you do these experiments with the oils.
Yeah, and you know, tap into those parts you maybe didn't want to tap into because you were so busy
Yeah,
being busy. This is the time.
exactly.
Guess what? You got lots of time now, and this is a time to be creative and innovative and really like honor yourself, mind, body, and spirit
I agree.
in everything you do. Like I've been hearing people say, well, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, then find a hobby. Start dreaming.
Yeah,
Just dream and
yeah,
think, oh gosh, when I was a kid, I wanted to do this. Well, why can't you do it now? What's
yeah,
stopping
that's
you?
great.
What's stopping you?
Yep.
It's a lot of inner child healing because we're basically scaring our immunity out of ourselves, if that makes sense.
No, it does. No, and I hear
Yeah.
you. And you're
Mm.
right. And those oils, and I do a lot of work with people, even when it comes to that aspect of trauma and everything else, they will tap into that inner person, even that inner child. It'll tap into things. And like you said, there's no more excuses. If things come up, this is a great time to sort of work through those, process them, and see where you need help or support. And there's people out there that can do that for you, like yourself. So there's a lot of work that can be done here, and I think we should honor that.
Yeah, definitely more time inward and less outward.
Yes.
You can't run away from yourself anymore.
No.
No, sorry.
Everybody just went, no, no.
Yeah. Jeez. Now, can you use essential oils in food? Like I've heard of people taking it orally.
Yes,
Is
I
that okay?
do. Yeah, I use. That's one of the reasons why I stuck with the idea of using Young Living when I became a practitioner license. With that license with them, is because they had oils that they had with the FDA that were really written under that Vitality brand that were used just for food. So there was no gray. I didn't want to worry about it with my clients. So yeah, I use oils and everything. They're in my shakes every morning before I work out. Peppermint is the best oil to use.
Mm,
Athletes all over the world use peppermint to open lung capacity, help with breathing,
mm,
actually helps with the lactic acid once you're done with a workout. So that's a great to add to your shake before you work out, even afterward for the same reason, the whole idea of the body healing through that process. Um,
nice.
Lemon oil is great to add to your water or your tea. If you're using something like a tea bag, I always recommend putting it on the tea bag itself because it'll just sit on top of the water and then that's all you'll do is hit that. But if you steep your tea with the drop or two on the tea bag, that's excellent. If you're looking for oils to support your immune system right now, which that's
Mm,
obviously where we're at, oils like clove and cinnamon, and again, steep it on a tea
mm,
bag. You can just put that in there and allow it to steep. Don't go too long because it is potent. I always say use the less is more approach. A drop of each is probably more than enough. So yeah, there's all sorts of ways you can bring them into meals. We use lemon in our hummus. Instead of using, because right now, like with us, we have hardly any produce.
mm.
We have no meat, no
Oh my
chicken.
goodness. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
the shelves are bare, and I live in like Austin, Texas, so I live in a huge populated area. Um,
Wow.
so these are unique ways of adding flavor to food that you may not have that opportunity to grab that right now. So that's and there's grapefruit oil, lime, all sorts of great ways to incorporate essential oils into food.
Mm, definitely. Yeah, I guess it's getting creative, maybe
Yeah.
going back and doing more things like my grandmother did. All she did was cook all day and can.
Yep.
That's what she did. So these are, these are interesting times. And that's, I wanted to share this with everyone and see how we can collectively work
Right.
together. Now, I didn't get to ask you this question before we started. I always ask each guest a question.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, how can we, as a collective energy, help you make your dreams come true?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. You know
You
what
know,
for me I know this seems silly, and it's like I feel like I'm the beauty pageant person when you ask the question and they have that answer, and you're like,
yes.
really? But I swear this is not the really eye roll. To me, it's just I think we have such an opportunity right now, and I think we talked a little bit before about how just to be kinder to each other and to
Mm,
just be open to supporting one another, asking how your neighbor is doing. I haven't I said to another friend, I've seen my neighbor because I live in suburbia, but
yes.
have I really talked to him? No.
Mm.
And the other day he brought me, and I like we live in houses that are like, and he brought me a basket of carrots.
Oh,
And it warmed my heart. And it was he grew them in his backyard, which is surprising, but you can do that in I guess a square foot by the garden. But just going out of your way, that to me, that makes my dreams come true because I just feel like this is such an opportunity for us, like people like you and myself. But I think it's also an opportunity for everyone around us to just step up and to be this better person that I know is in there,
mm.
just sometimes have a difficult time allowing it to come out. And that vulnerability right now, I think people are going to be overwhelmed by it and so appreciate it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I would agree. I mean, go out and see what your neighbors are doing, or help someone who's vulnerable, like the
Yep.
seniors. I shared a post about delivery drivers, support staff, hospital workers, grocery staff. All of that. I mean, can you imagine
No,
what they're going through right now?
it's crazy.
So if we take better care of ourselves and that mind, body, spirit connection, then there won't be such a crutch on healthcare overall.
Right. And I
Hmm.
can imagine when we come out on the other side of this, if we can continue this, that's my other part of my dream is for
Okay.
it to continue. Like,
Yes.
let's not just put the band-aid on it. Let's allow it. Let this be the shift that is so needed. Let us lead and do this where we can really change, I think, a system that's been broken for a very long time. So I think this is really an opportunity.
Definitely. Because if it took, I don't know, in the 50s, if it took 60 years to get here, it's
Yep,
probably going to take just as long, if not longer, to undo it. So we have to be patient.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
it's all about love. I mean, it's all about love, unconditional love. We got to figure out what that is. So,
Yeah.
and I guess, that starts with us, learning about essential oils and finding out what, lights us up, brings us joy, makes us feel melancholy, makes us relaxed.
Right.
Like my go-tos, like I said, are peppermint and lavender. Those seem to be the two that
I
I,
love them. I love
yeah.
them both.
And then if I'm feeling kind of like, oh, my throat a little bit, do the gargle salt water and all that stuff. But in my bath, I'm doing eucalyptus and tea tree because I'm trying to,
Perfect. Yep.
yeah,
Those
create
are
that
perfect. And
effervescence.
rosemary too.
Oh,
Rosemary is another
rosemary.
great one to add in when it comes to opening that lung. And
Mm,
again, I think we're all looking for that, right? We're looking, and I think that also raises our level too. So, um,
yes,
and I so appreciate what you're doing because I think it's so great to be having these conversations and sharing what others are doing, and teaching others how to, find what lights them up, and that really is what changes it all. You know.
absolutely. If you met me 3 years ago, I don't even recognize who I was. So and I mean, and I guess the other question, I have another question. I like this one. What
Sure.
does magic mean to you?
Oh my gosh, dang, always on the spot. I'm terrible at this stuff.
No, you're
What's
not. You're
okay?
great.
What's magic? I don't know. I think more of a sensation than to me, magic is when I'm doing something like this and I feel the goosebumps and my skin start to tingle and my heart rate. That's magic for me. Like I like doing this with you, I can feel myself. Like I tend to do this. And it's because I'm so energized and feel so full. when I'm sharing like this, and just the energy between yourself and myself. And I just had a call before this, and I'm like, how am I still going? I've been doing this literally, and I'm sure you too, with all that's been going on for days. And
Mm.
it just feels good to, so magic is just that feeling, that energy that just makes me want to get up every day and do what I
Beautiful.
do.
You found your passion.
I did. I did.
You found, yeah, you found it within yourself, and it doesn't feel like work. That's what I tell
No.
people. You feel like
That's
you're
why I can
running.
do it all the time. If it was
Yeah.
work, I never would want to do it. And that's why I can sustain, 5, 6 hours at a time and just be like, okay, what's next? And you're right. That's when you know you found it, because it doesn't
Mm.
feel like work. It never
It's
does.
it's a sweet spot. It's like lighting up the Christmas lights. You had the inner
Yeah.
Christmas lights. I
Oh,
guess
I
it would
like
be
that.
the
That's awesome.
be like the chakras, I guess. But
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It is. I'm lit up from head to toe.
yeah, definitely. I mean, the picture that you sent me. I mean, wow, just like the smile.
It was funny. My daughter took that picture. We were playing around, and she started talking about like what I'm doing and how I'm, what I do with people. And she's like, Mom, I captured it. And that was really neat. And I'm being totally genuine when I say that it was us talking about why I do what I do. And it's,
And it shows. I can feel like there was a story behind that picture.
yeah.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing this, putting together the graphics and, finding guests such as yourself. And I'm blessed to have a guest book until the end of June, which is,
Wow.
yeah, amazing. So, and if you know of anybody else, please send them my way, of
Oh, I will.
course.
I will. I will. What
Because
signs you're doing good work, because people are wanting to do this with you, and obviously
yes.
you're filling a real need, and I really do think that now this is a huge need,
Mhm.
to providing valuable information for others, especially in a virtual capacity. So, um,
Definitely.
best
All
of
right.
luck.
Yes, thank you very much. And I mean, there are people watching. So, again, if you have questions, please ask. We'll get back to you. If you have any questions right now about, helping with your anxiety, boosting your immune system more naturally, of course.
Yes,
I mean, there's lots of ways to do it, mind, body, spirit. You just
of
got to
course.
get creative and just ask. Don't be afraid to ask. I think sometimes we are because there seems to be, maybe it's just me, that we feel silly asking, but maybe you're asking for someone, 10 other people
Yeah.
that had the same question. So you're actually a hero if you think about it.
That's how I see it. And to me, I never judge people, because trust me, when I started, if I even told people half the questions I asked when I started in this world, you would have died laughing. So, to me, I've never gotten a question where like, really? It's always been like, wow, that's, to see it
Never
that
thought
way.
of
Like,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
never
I,
thought of
I, I
that.
always learn something when somebody asks
Yeah,
me a question.
exactly,
So,
exactly. So, do you have any events or anything that you want to share with anybody that we can maybe send links to, or how can we find you as well?
sure. Well, right now, I used to have a private group, but considering everything that's going on, I opened it to the public because I wanted people to be able to come in and ask questions. Because I do a lot with health and wellness, and obviously emotional support with essential oils. So I do have a public group on Facebook. It's called 365 Essential Oils for Everyday. That is the best place to find me. I work with several other coaches too that'll be popping in throughout the next few weeks. We're actually handling topics like homeschooling, where people are like, where did you get this? And I'm like, listen, this is a whole new world we live in. So, I'm going to be offering support in all different ways. So that's the best place to get me and to get support by me. So again, just come on in and I'll approve you and mention that you came through the site. And we do a lot of different ways to, we do classes, we do everything. So my goal is to
Great.
support
I'm
everybody
going
where
to
they
join.
are.
That's
You get to share your
amazing.
wisdom then too, because yeah, I have people like
Sure.
yourself come in often. Yeah, I encourage it. I'm always like one of those people like, come on in, because I think that we all have a gift to share, and there's always somebody out there that needs to hear it, no matter who shows up.
Exactly. We all have a soul's purpose. Encourage everyone to find theirs.
Yes, I
Definitely.
do too.
So, all right. Well, I want to wish you all the best and sending love, light,
Thank you.
blessings to you, to your family, to everyone watching and around. There will be a live stream happening this Saturday starting 3 p.m. I'm going to have guest speakers, guest healers.
Awesome.
We're going to have, we're going to have Reiki masters. We're going to have acupuncturists. We're going to have mediums, psychics, intuitives. It's going to be a global meditation. Like, we're just here to share the love. I'll have more
I
details
love
on
that.
that out. And I want to wish you guys, like I said, love, light, and blessings. And please remember, heal where the ego ends. Take care.
Take care.